on there. Take the time, check out the website, sign up to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So far as today is concerned, it's part of a series of events that we've been holding. We've had one for lawyers, we've had one for engineers, we've had a doctor's one previously, and this I suppose is part 2 to the doctor's one. I don't know, there's probably going to be other parts to it, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's what today's about. Obviously, aspiring medical students, with people here. Thankfully, a lot of you are with your parents as well. It is important for us that parents do attend. It's something that we've discussed as a group, and I think from now on we are going to insist that parents always attend. There is a good reason for that. It's because we feel that it's quite difficult, A-levels, studying, there's a lot of pressure mentally. We feel that it should really be the parents that the children turn to for emotional support, rather than turning to other people. So first, parents, create that bond, support your children throughout the journey. Parents. Okay, so yeah, very important. We want parents to be involved. We want parents to assist their children. Oh, another thing that comes to mind is also, you'll probably hear about it today. They're not interested in just academics. They want to know what your children are doing outside of the academic arena. So that might be clubs and sports and things like that. I'm sure they're going to touch on that. So it's important that you support your children. If they have a hobby, if there's a club out of Small Heath, Allen Rock, that they need to attend, you need to give them that support and take them there. Obviously, there's going to be some financial commitment as well. There's going to be club fees, etc.
We give it to our star guest. So just to reiterate, alhamdulillah, I'm really proud to be a part of a bit of a revolution. For those of us who are sort of old enough in the room, you recognise our parents really didn't have the time or the resources to kind of engage as much as what we're expecting you to do now. And I think I just want to reiterate how important that is. And I'm really pleased that the parents are here and not in bed and having to drop their kids off or whatever it is, because this is your greatest investment. Your kids are your greatest investment, and we just really want to facilitate that and sort of be a part of that and make it easier for you to be a part of that. So just very briefly, I want to talk about 3 things. One is a little bit about today, and then the second one is the structure of today. And then there was a third one which I've forgotten. If I remember, then I'll hopefully tell you a third thing as well. So back in the 90s, when you wanted to go to medical school, it was relatively easy actually. You kind of filled out a UCAS form, you did your A-levels, and then you went for an interview, and then they just sat you down for half an hour and asked you about who you are and why you want to do medicine, why you want to come to this university. You maybe had a second interview, just a little bit about technical stuff, and that was sort of it. But it's a lot more complicated these days, as you're going to find out. I'm not sure exactly what the reasons for that are. I think it's something to do with biases in the way that people were being selected or something. But basically they decided to make it an awful lot more complicated than what it used to be. Probably a lot better, I'm going to say, in some senses. I managed to slip through. So what they're doing now is, not only do you have to, and I'm just going to be really brief because obviously Afshan's going to go into a lot of detail. So kids will have to do the A-levels first, get the grades, have a good personal statement, have some sort of outside interest, something else that they do with their lives in addition to academia. Then they've got to do another exam, which is these UK CATs and BMATs, and I get confused with all of them, to be honest with you. And then they've got to go to interview, but it's not just a half-an-hour interview. They actually test what we probably refer to as soft qualities. So they test things like, is this student compassionate? Is this student ethical? Does this student have integrity? Is this student going to be honest? What sort of priorities would this student have in a particular scenario? So the actual interview process is a lot more complex than what it used to be. And what they do is that so inshallah your kids will have interviews at medical school, you'll drop them off, right? And what we want to do is just give you a flavour of what's actually going on in there. So that you can help them actually on the journey to that interview. So what will be going on is they'll have a number of what they call stations, and in those stations, like I said, they're going to offer them a scenario, and then they'll test these qualities. And Afshan's going to go into a lot more detail about that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be splitting up into 4 groups after Afshan's talk, and we're going to give you some example scenarios. So we'll split you up into the four. So you go over there, there, here, and you have a facilitator at each group, just talking you through this scenario, getting your thoughts. Really important, please engage. Ask a question, have a query. Don't kind of just sit there, because this is a golden opportunity. All jokes aside, people pay a lot of money for this type of thing. And may Allah bless her and her family. Afshan's given, she talked about me being a caring person. She's given all of her morning, there's all this experience, all this expertise for this community for free. So please do engage. So you parents can get a bit of a flavour of, we like want our kids to be doctors, dentists, whatever, but I don't think we really know what's actually involved. So please do engage. So that's kind of briefly about today. The itinerary roughly is going to be about half an hour behind schedule anyway. So Afshan will start in just next couple of minutes. We'll take about an hour or so. That will take us to 12. Then we're going to split into our 4 groups, which will take about another hour or so. Again, Afshan's going to explain more of that. Then we'll have a little bit of a break. And if anyone wants to pray, Qibla is in that direction straight ahead. Food's over there, please. So your food over there. So have a little bit of a break, a breather. Then about 20-25 minutes later, we'll come back, and then Afshan's going to spend the last hour or so talking through in detail about those stations and what you should be getting from the station and what sorts of thoughts you should be having. Okay, so that's just briefly. And then Afshan is the lead for admissions at Aston Medical School. Alhamdulillah, she's a Dr. Afshan Ahmed. She has a PhD in virology. Medical microbiology. And she's worked in vaccine research and actually developed a vaccine for MRSA. Yeah, alhamdulillah. So very well qualified. Lots and lots of experience, and just really feel very privileged that she's actually here with us today. So please do take advantage of the session, inshallah. So,
thank you very much. Thank you. Is that, it is a privilege to be a teacher. It is a privilege to be a doctor. A lot of times people say, why do you want to be a doctor? And it's, I want to have that place in society where everyone looks up to me, or I want to earn lots of money, or I want to, live in a big house, send my kids to private school. Well, that's not what being a doctor is about. What being a doctor is about, and I think there's an absolutely amazing example of that in this room here, and that is a gentleman called Majid Khan. And
that was the plan.
He's paying me handsomely to say this. So I have to say that. No, joking aside, do you know what a doctor is? A doctor is a person who cares. A doctor is a person who is educated. And this is actually for the parents. As Majid was saying, getting into medicine has become quite difficult. And that's partly because there's been a real thinking about, are we using the right criteria by just saying that you've got to get your A stars and A's? And are there other ways that we can assess people for their suitability to go into medicine? And I think most of you were here, when I was talking about being a doctor and that desire to do medicine, it isn't just about, becoming a doctor and doing your stuff. It's actually about being compassionate, being kind, having the latest knowledge. There are so many things that go into being a doctor. And part of what we do now by introducing all these other aspects into admissions is actually to ensure that we select the best, the most suitable people to be doctors. Because we don't just need doctors who are clever, we need doctors who are compassionate, who are kind, who are ethical, who have integrity, because doctors are trusted with really very private things about people, and you have to be trustworthy. And you are not only representing yourself, but you are representing your profession. So you are a beacon to everybody. So you cannot let yourself down, because you are not going to let yourself down, but you are also going to let your profession down. And that's why doctors are regulated by the General Medical Council, because the General Medical Council ensures that every practicing doctor behaves properly, financially, socially, ethically, because it's important, because of what you do and what you are trusted with. Okay? So, can we have the next slide, please? So, admissions requirements, as I said earlier, why do we do it? We want to select applicants, obviously, who are academically able, so that you'll be able to deal with the vast amount of information that you'll have to learn. Putting that information into conversion exams, you've got the OSCEs, which are like Viva type exams. So that's why we want to do that. And what we don't want to do is to have different criteria for different people. So we just like to have one lot of criteria that we say if you qualify and you fulfill these, you're in. Okay, next one please. Right, so, and that you are academically able, you have lots of interests that you can talk about because that is the person you are. So you are not just your academic ability, you are the sum of lots of different parts of you. So, the sports you do is to be a doctor. And also, a really important thing is you have to be lifelong learners. And you know that doctors have annual appraisals. And in your appraisal, you have to prove that you kept up with the knowledge that is moving. And you mathematical people understand the expression exponentially. So it's like going whoop like this instead of going like this. So in a year's time, the knowledge we have today, I was a prefect at school, I was captain of the cricket team, I worked in a shop, I helped my uncle go and pick up stuff from the grocery shop, like that, all of those things, okay? Good, bad, ugly, whatever. And then draw arrows going from those things you've done to the things that are required of a doctor. Okay, and I promise you, honest to God, I promise you that you will find that you've done plenty, that you've got on this side that relates to the requirements of a doctor. And then you structure your writing around it. So you say, I really want to be a doctor because it's that, the thought of learning steal a phone, what would you do in that situation? So it's testing your situational judgment ability. Your ability to judge that situation and prioritize what is important to do and when to do. So, and then the UCAT is very much non-academic, so you won't be tested on your GCSE biology or whatever, but BMAT is actually, it does have an aspect of your GCSE biology, chemistry and physics. So you will have questions around GCSE biology, chemistry, physics. In your BMAT, all the personal statements and all the references, but we don't score them. So they don't come into us ranking them to call it for an interview. Okay? Right, so next one please. Right, so these are I'm just giving you some information so that you can know. And these are out of date for you because they are sort of present dates. But by the time you come to it, this is a guide, okay? Guide around what kind of things you have to do. Because remember, getting into medicine is a difficult road, but get everything right. Do a timetable of the dates by which you have to do this. And there's a very small window of application time in medicine. From the 5th of September to the 15th of October. That's it. That is the window of time between which you must submit your UCAS application for medicine. For other subjects, it's a much longer window. I think you go on till January. But for medicine, you do the same way. So there's a difference between, being over-rehearsed and just being yourself. But the more you talk to each other, the more you discuss topics, the more you say, okay, so if I was asked an ethical question about a GP sees pregnant women, a GP sees somebody with dementia, a GP sees somebody who's got...
So we'll get everyone to take their chairs through the registration. And then, so if you want, we've got some more study, if you want to pray, Qibla is that way. Have yourself a refreshment. And then I'll give them time to come back. And then, because everyone will know which group to pray, they can just come straight backwards and we'll be able to do that. All right. So, you're not very
I would like to really to thank these three amazing young men we have got here. Suleiman, Sayed, really hard. They've got exams coming up, they've got group work to get on top of, they've got lectures to revisit. They have given up. Honestly, I know that it doesn't sound like it.
I want to say thank you also to our amazing volunteers for this video. And how was that? Just briefly, maybe shout out some words. Yeah. Actually, so if you could go on to the website.
So if you can just go to the website, go to the social media, say a few nice things about what you've learned today.
How could we improve?
How can we improve? And perhaps send us an email to put on our website. It just helps us. And the other important thing is if there's anybody amongst you that has skills to share, just like Afshan shared today, experience that she shared, please let us know so that we can do this for other professions as well, whatever your profession.
Excel. That if we didn't believe that you couldn't be the best that you could possibly be, all those things that Afshan said, well then why would we be putting all of this effort in? Why would we, I mean this isn't just waking up on Sunday morning, it requires a lot of planning and organising and buying things and just a lot of logistical things. Why would we be doing that? So hopefully we are a part of a revolution in the Pashtun community, inshallah. And you're a part of that as well. So I really mean that. I really sincerely do mean that. I think there's been a bit of a shift. You know, our parents came here in the 60s, 70s. And you guys are sort of second generation. And I think that it is really an exciting time because it is a shift is happening. I'm really here to facilitate that and support that. And just really want you to know that we sincerely look into my eyes, as they say. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I do believe in every single one of you. What you need, I think, is encouragement, is support, is sort of facilitation, and this is what the Passion Trust is here for. So please do take advantage. We'll try and put on more events, in particular for medicine. Is anyone applying this year, incidentally?